the importance of data privacy, and the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR). In the era of digital transformation, information has become the new wealth of nations and a primary competitive advantage for organizations. For the global HR professional, acting as an organizational architect means navigating the complex and rigorous landscape of data privacy. Managing employee data is no longer just a technical task. It is a critical legal and ethical requirement, especially when operating under the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR). As HRS and EHRM systems move from domestic to global operations, they must adapt to differing technology platforms and cultural attitudes toward privacy. Data privacy is a significant issue in global business activities, particularly during mergers and acquisitions, where the transfer of employee base information can create substantial legal liability. Protecting this data is essential to maintain the trust and integrity of the organization. The European Union has long pioneered the legal framework for data protection. It began with the Data Protection Directive, which imposed strict limitations on the collection and use of personal data for European citizens and residents, including expatriates. This has now evolved into the GDPR, a comprehensive law that governs how personal data defined as any information about an identified or identifiable individual is handled. According to the GPHR body of knowledge, every global HR system must be built upon the key principles of GDPR, lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. Data must be processed legally, and the process must be clear to the individual. Purpose limitation. Data should only be collected for specified, explicit, and legitimate purposes. Data minimization. Organizations must only collect the data that is strictly necessary for the intended purpose. Accuracy. HR must take every reasonable step to ensure that inaccurate personal data is erased or rectified without delay. Storage limitation. Information should not be kept longer than is necessary. Integrity and confidentiality. Data must be processed in a manner that ensures appropriate security, including protection against unauthorized processing or accidental loss. Accountability. The organization is responsible for and must be able to demonstrate compliance with all the above principles. To comply with these regulations, multinational enterprises (MNEs) must take specific operational steps. Designate a data controller. Companies must appoint a person responsible for all data processing in registered databases with the Data Protection Authority (DPA) in each applicable EU country. Obtain consent. In the EU, individuals must opt in or give explicit consent for the use of their personal data. For example, a company receiving job applications via a corporate website must notify candidates how their data will be used and obtain consent before processing. Cross-border transfers. Personal data cannot be transferred out of the EU unless the recipient country has adequate data protection standards. For countries like the US, which the EU historically viewed as lacking adequate protection, firms must use mechanisms like standard contractual clauses or self-certification processes to meet adequacy requirements. Beyond legal compliance, HR professionals have a professional responsibility to act as ethical leaders. The HRCI Code of Ethics mandates that certificants safeguard restricted or confidential information and acquire data through only ethical and responsible means. HR must also investigate the accuracy and source of information before allowing it to be used in employment-related decisions. Data privacy is a cornerstone of the modern high-performance work system. By mastering the principles of GDPR and embedding them into the organization's DNA, HR professionals protect their employees' rights and shield their organizations from the immense risks of global litigation. In the global village, privacy is not just a policy. It is a commitment to the intrinsic worth and dignity of every human being.